Welcome back to the number one podcast in this gym. How is everybody?
I was all right till I just lost my hearing. What did you say?
Oh, is it too loud?
Oh, fuck, it just blew me head apart. No, it's all right.
Sorry, mate.
My hearing's a bit down, you know, because I'm a bit older. So.
Well, everyone was saying they couldn't hear what you were saying last week.
What?
Because you speak like this into the...
That's my sultry voice.
Big fella, how are you, mate?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, brother.
Back, just you and me again.
Just me and you.
It's the way to go.
That's it. I think this is
We're supposed to have a head there.
That's the way forward, mate. That's the way forward. Welcome back to number one podcast in Dubai, the ONETRIBE podcast, guys. And we're back for another week where we, as a promise we made last week, you know, we're going to roll them out weekly. And
promise to you guys.
We're
flat out keeping them to ourselves.
And we've literally just scratched this one in this week. So,
how's your week been?
It's been good, mate. It's been good. It's been a good week, actually, work-wise and, life-wise. It's all right.
Man, everyone was like all excited last week. Oh, summer's over. Mate, it's still cranking.
Hey, listen, mornings are beautiful.
Yeah, last night wasn't too bad.
Mornings are spot on at the moment. And
the hurricane's just about to roll in.
Yeah. Oh, Johnny Drama, welcome. Johnny Drama.
Oh, he's bad. We just keep trying to. We just
It's on. Don't press anything. It's on. We're 140 in. You said 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was standing at the front for 1 minute. You saw me.
Mate.
You stand out in the street and do this podcast if you want.
Do we need to get the phone out and like replay your messages? No.
You'd be dead set late to your own funeral. You know.
You took time
to
send us
my own 21st, and it was in my own house.
You took time to send us a funny video of Nigel in Lopo.
I mean, I got sent that by the police.
Do you know this fella? He said he's got your name in his emergency contact.
He's got a wristband with your name on it.
Oh, we should open up the podcast with our condolences go to the British royal family and all that.
Passing of the Queen last night.
So paying her respects, you know, she was an old war horse, that one.
Mm-hmm. Did you end up watching the series on Netflix?
Yeah, I did. What was it called? I did watch it. Yeah, that's actually what got me into it.
Wasn't too bad.
It was very good.
It was interesting when they came to Australia.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. But that was quite an interesting story.
Speaking of Queens,
when did they come? Like with Captain Cook? Is that how far back we're going, or? Because there's some mixed thoughts. Like I've got people. No, there's people back home being like, "Yeah, get rid of her." Like colonizing, get rid of the royals.
All of us could say that because we're all coming.
They're the same flops that get on Facebook and say dumb shit as well. So
yeah, I mean, look. Anyway, we won't go into that. But there is a lot of.
There's always two sides, but
yeah. Speaking of Queens, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I knew you were lining this up for sure.
Tried twice and it didn't.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
It's better than him saying, and speaking of 96-year-olds, and they point to me.
Yeah, fair. To be fair, I'm shattered. End of the week. I don't know. I didn't train this morning.
Listen, and speaking of, she's 96 and she worked every day.
Yep.
Hey? She was working 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't go home for naps.
But so what happened in that time though?
She says, "Fuck this! I'm not going to work anymore. I'm going to die." So,
yeah,
fair play.
She still had,
mate,
still went walking.
You want to be around for 98 years on Earth? You'd be looking for a way out, wouldn't you?
Yeah. No,
is that a train coming? I'm just going to see if I can play chicken with a train. Hang on, Queen. You're not that fast. Let me have a go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a great run nonetheless. A great run.
Yeah.
Cheers to the old duck.
So I mean, look, UK's in like, they've had a lot happen in the last couple of weeks. This week, new Prime Minister?
Yeah.
Now the Queen. Are they officially in recession or what?
The three of us are. Massively.
Yeah, no, I haven't kept up to date with the world topics.
UK's.
Feel a bit of tension off my left shoulder. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm shattered today.
Why?
I don't know.
You still turned up late.
Woke up at 2 o'clock.
You weren't there at 5 a.m. when I was there. Don't try and pull that.
I was tired. I couldn't sleep again. I don't know why. I went down and had a Magnum. 2:30. An almond Magnum ice cream.
2:30 this morning.
Yeah,
mate.
Had that and then I couldn't get back to sleep. So then I was lying there till 5, and then obviously getting into the gym and
then threatened us at 10:30 on WhatsApp.
It's like,
what's
happening? What's going on?
Don't lay into me
Poor
on the
Jason.
podcast. I'm wrecked.
It's all right.
We were given a a formal warning. He can't take shit today. I'm not in the mood. So if you guys want to do this podcast, behave.
Yeah. So it's okay. So
today will be boring, guys.
So thanks for listening.
And that's it. We've got nothing else to talk about if it's not slandering me. No, I just, just trying to get a lot of different shit done. And look, everyone's had a busy week. I think it's just the feel of a lot of people. Friday sometimes hits you in the face. I think 1 out of every 10 Fridays, you kind of feel the weight of it. I usually feel pretty good on a Friday because I'm like, all right, the weekend, I'm good. Everyone's done well this week. But it's just one of those days.
Here's the thing, right? So there has been a lot of, definitely for me and you, for sure. I reckon you're about to go through it, big fella. But compare us to last year. There is so much more going on in our lives in terms of career-wise, and that's what is hard to facilitate at the moment. We're not the 3 casual dudes that were on air last year. Like we're trying to build a better future for ourselves, and that's why I think there is a lot more, a bit more tension, not between us, but in our individual lives where so much is happening. We're trying to have a life, but you got to do this. Is progression. This is what progression is, man.
Yeah. And it should be a little bit uncomfortable.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been comfortable. 3 of us have been comfortable for fucking 3 years.
And that's probably why we went, you know what? This probably is starting to not feel right, and a couple of opportunities come up. So it's like let's run with it.
And you've got to capitalise on it when it's there. Like if you don't, you miss out, and then you're going to turn around and go, "Fuck!" And I should have put my head down and just taken that, made myself uncomfortable, like you just said, Ty, for 6 months, a year, because in 12 months' time, we're all going to be sitting in different, positions and far better ones, in my opinion. But you got to graft. Nothing ever, came good that was easy, you know what I mean?
That's right. But I think everybody's a little bit, especially in the city now, everyone's off summer holidays, everyone's back to work, and the talk in probably the last week has been traffic.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just exploded again. So
the city's back to normal.
I think September always hits you in the face because it just literally goes from 0 to 100. But
not only that, the other thing, businesses don't pick up until about the end of September anyway. Yeah. Because people, like we're seeing now, look, I want to come back to training. Let me get the kids settled.
Yeah.
All that shit. But it is what it is. End of September, you got a full roster again for the next 7 months until we go through this shit again next summer. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I think we're there because in the last 2-3 years we haven't had that cycle. It's there now. We're getting used to it, and you just got to take it for what it is.
I'm sort of getting used to. It's a bit of a novelty for me at the moment. It's like, just so you know, I'm taking a bit of time off at Christmas, and clients are like, what are you talking about? So, well, I haven't had any time off for a while.
Yeah.
And they're like,
your passport's been up at the embassy, that's why.
We know. Like, what do you mean you haven't hot time off?
We know, you can't travel. You're fucking
No, because they're all going anyway. But
what do you got planned?
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, well, no surprise there.
No, all my brother's coming.
Okay, nice.
So we're doing the touristy thing. But it's going to be good to not be going to work.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah, that'll be good.
You know what that's like.
Yeah, fair. Nice.
So we were discussing topics an hour ago because we're going to do a podcast today. We better be prepared. So 40 minutes ago we come up with a topic. But yesterday was Are You OK Day, National Are You OK Day. National is Australia, isn't it?
International.
So international. Let's keep it international. Are You OK Day. So focusing on mental health and your health of your brain and just how people are. So I think that question we've touched on it a lot in our podcast, but asking people, are you okay, and are things all good? And I think this is a very important question to ask because a lot of people go through life and suffer on their own. And for me, I don't think that's pretty cool if you're doing it on your own. You should always have someone there to at least talk to or tell your problems to.
And don't wait for a special day to ask people if they're okay. You can, if you're picking up on things, ask them there and then.
Yeah, I've just had
So Jason.
Yeah, I'm good.
I wasn't going to ask that.
No, I had a close friend of mine recently pass away due to probably these subjects we're going to talk about, and it was a big shock to me, man, because he was one of the boys. He was in the group, and you know, fuck, it took the air out of me, because you always hear it and you hear people that you know or someone knows, but it's different when it'd be like one of you boys, you know, gapping it, and yeah, it was fucking tough. It's still tough to, like yesterday, it came up on his Facebook, and it's just crazy that he's not here, and it was a reason. I hope people back home don't get sort of offended at this, me talking about it, but yeah, I think the guy did struggle a fair bit in the last couple of years, and probably this was his only way out in his head. You know what I mean? Which is unfortunate, because he's left 2 beautiful kids behind and a wife and stuff. So it's hard to see that side of it, the aftermath that it leaves. But
you said an important thing there. He'd been supposedly dealing with it for years.
Yeah.
So people don't just turn, kind of thing. It's a build up.
Absolutely,
how long are they dealing with these things for?
You just wish there was another way for some people, because I've had a bit of this in my life, and a couple of close people, which is, it sucks, but the pattern is there. And the one a couple of years ago, which was a family member, this poor girl, she wasn't okay since we were young, and in the culture, in our culture anyway, it's all push it to the side. It's a behavioural issue they've got. You know what I mean? No, that's what pissed me off last week. After my mate, we found out about him, I went back through all the people that I know who've done it, and there's been different issues and whatnot. But my one cousin, I felt bad, because I was thinking about her, and I was like, fuck, man, sort of similar ages, but she was put by the family into a behavioural issue spot. Never spoken about what is actually wrong with this girl. Can she get help? You're outcasted by your family, and the family's then embarrassed to talk about it, and it's just I guess it's a cultural thing, I mean, I don't know, it's weird, but I felt bad because
is it a misunderstanding of what the actual problem is?
I think it's the old school way of thinking, Ty, because all of our parents are sort of immigrant parents, and they would have gone through some depressive states and whatnot, but it was, you don't complain, you get on with it, and you're lucky to be here, or you're lucky to be there. There was always that subject, which is not true, man. These people couldn't talk, and then that's passed down to the kids and their kids. It's that trauma, you know what I mean, that's passed down. So,
and I think things have changed a lot over the decades, with people more willing to be open about it, and say, hey, look, this is what it sort of looks like. It may look like to you guys on the outside, and this is what we are seeing on the inside. So I think, like you said, decades ago, it wasn't as easy for people to pick up on. It's just a behavioural issue, or kind of thing. Now it's more like, hey, hang on, we should be. Are you okay? Yeah.
And look, not all the time a question's going to figure it out, but letting someone know that there are people that actually give a shit about it, what you're feeling in your head, makes a difference as well, I think people, there's 2 things right now that you see, which is to opposite scales, is the vindication that people are looking for on social media is the other side of the scale. Am I being accepted by my peers that I don't know, and I need them to care, which is fucked, right? So
you're trying to make a lot of people are trying to make people happy they don't even know.
No, and then the other side of it is that when you are going through shit, you start to realise, I can't actually air this because I've portrayed it as one thing online. I better hide what's going on in the real life, you know what I mean? So it's tough, because there's no medium there. It's either one extreme to the other, and that's why I think this whole suicide thing is going through the roof. It's just easy. Oh well, you couldn't be the person that you've portrayed to be, so you better gap it before people find out the truth. You know what I mean? Which is fucking awful.
Or they bottle it up because they don't want to seem different to what they portray.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which isn't good.
No. And so, so I just want to open up sort of the conversation today on that. I don't want to make it morbid, I don't want to make it sad, but it's conversations that need to be had every day, not just the day that you recognise it because a couple of posts go out from a certain company or a brand, but this shit is real life, you know what I mean?
For me, being the elder statesman of the group, it wasn't this sort of stuff was not prevalent,
Yeah.
but
But it was there.
it was there. I probably wouldn't have even recognised it. The only sort of suicide or anything like that I had to not deal with, but that I was sort of close-ish to was I used to play with some neighbours when we were kids, young kids, not even teenagers, and their grandfather hung himself in the garage, and it's just like as a kid, a young kid, and you hear that, you're just like, wow, what the fuck's going on there? But you have no understanding of why. And it's not until now, like my age now, in the last couple of years, that even in the last couple of years, that you start to meet people that are openly, I've got depression, or you know, I'm struggling with this or struggling with that, and you're just like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, yeah. Everyone struggles, man, and it's.
But I think for the younger generation, the people now that are in their 20s and 30s, it's a lot more prevalent for you guys. You know what I mean?
But I think the generations like yourself, you know, my parents' age. We spoke about this when I was with Mum and Dad. I had a pretty deep conversation with my dad, which was funny because I've never had one, and it was you know, I don't want to air too much, but a very eye-opening conversation that he had to me and let me know about a lot of things that went on in his past. And I was like, because when I went through my dark days, you sit there going, where has this come from? Why the fuck am I thinking like this? I knew that there was certain factors that were escalating my thoughts and to do stupid things to myself, like, you know, but
is there a background?
well, where's the background? You know, as I've learnt more over, like, I'm like you, I'm very old school. Like we were taught, you know, you get a hard tackle, get up, run it off, that kind of mentality. You know, like you're soft if you're a bloke. You know what I mean? You don't want to. But after hearing all this and speaking to a lot of people I know who sort of deal in this space and how traumas are passed down from experiences from your parents all the way down to their kids, and if things aren't redirected with one generation, it can keep going and going and going.
That seems to be the pattern.
Yeah, so when my old man opened up, I was fucking like, holy shit, like, mate, I was sitting there blown away. I'm like, wow, this is where, well, not where it came from, but you went through the same things, and I never knew this.
It's a lot more, probably a good thing, because it's a lot, now you have answers.
Now I have answers, but like my point, in my head, I was a bit spun out too. Like if things happened the other way that night, I wouldn't be sitting here. But then I wouldn't have also known about it. At 38, I have now known about what things happened to my dad, and I'm like, there's the relation there. That's crazy. That's scary to hear.
And what difference could it make to your life
if I knew about it earlier?
At 28
yeah.
or 18.
And that's not to blame Dad, but that's because they didn't know how to talk about it because they never got told to open up.
And he's probably now thought you've finally grown up to yourself. He's half decent, this fella. Yeah. Okay.
No, it was an eye-opening comment, but very heavy.
And the other thing too is you guys are a pretty close family, and you probably haven't, because of what's happened in the last couple of years. You haven't had that closeness.
But see, that's the thing, that also growing up, we weren't the close. And when I say that, Mum listened to it fucking last week, and I got to. So, Mum, I'm not saying this in any other way, but we've all spoken about this in terms of how our family dynamics work. Our mum was our go-to. Dad was sort of the discipline.
Yep.
Dude,
and
right?
that's.
But it wasn't like, a lot of things were also hidden. Like, you know, we fucked up as kids and we hid them, and we were going to get a hiding. It was one way. It was like, you're either going to get a hiding or you go to Mum for protection. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and if you it was either go and ask your dad, he'd go ask your mum.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ask your dad, you were fucked.
So in
Bob's
terms
your
of
uncle.
in terms of like being close, I get. I don't know. It's your typical sort of Islander cultural family there, right? Like it's a weird dynamic where you grow up and you look back on it and you go, it makes you into who you are. But definitely things could have changed. I look at that's why it hit me so hard, because I look at my younger brother. My younger brother now has been without me in his life, like physically, for I've been here, say 17 years, and I know that kid, I know what I've gone through in that time. I know that kid growing up would have gone through some shit, but didn't have anybody to open up to. At least I've got the boys, I've got people, you know, that we can talk openly about this. But I know back in Australia, it's not. You still got that mentality. Oh, don't talk about your feelings, bro, because that's not cool. And that's what bugged me because, you know, I don't know if I do things different, but I definitely want to. I can still make amends with my brother. We're not close, but I know I haven't been an older brother to him, and that's what sort of got in my gut. Well, like, oh fuck, man, I know that kid would have gone through some shit and been in dark places, but I should have been there.
Has he ever wanted to come here?
He's been here. He's been here. Yeah, look, when we're together, we're good, bro. Like, it's not a thing. But I also know that more to it is that he's a young dude, and you know, we all go through. Like, we three of us sit here and we go through shit weekly, monthly, and we're lucky we get to talk to each other about. We're pretty open amongst the three of us, and we're lucky to have that. But a lot of people don't. You know what I mean?
I think you need to. If you are suffering and it's something that you deal with on a daily basis as your normal, that's okay. You're not a weirdo. Yeah. You're not broken. But if you do have people that are offering to be there for you and help,
take it, man.
Take it. Learn to just, you know, send the odd message or, hey, look, I'm feeling a bit shit. Can we catch up for a coffee? You don't need answers. You just need that.
There's a few people probably listening to this now going, fucking you hypocrite, like me. Because I'm the best at that, bro. Like, you know, when I need help, and I'll do it myself. You know what I mean? I need to get that out of my system. I don't know why.
But the thing is, you've recognised it.
Yeah. I do recognise. I just got to fix it because I know I'm like that. You know what I mean?
You've just sat here and you've said that this is something I deal with, and I've got to fix it. You're not pushing it aside. You're not denying it. You know.
Should I turn your mic off, bro?
What about you, Jace? What about you,
turn it off, huh? No, I'm listening. No, I'm listening. I think it's a good it's a good topic. Like, I mean, you guys are speaking from experiences and stuff, so I'm a lot younger than you guys. So
but
you go like you've got it's no different. Like, being age is no different.
No. I mean, but I just, you know, I might not have. I would say I'm quite lucky that I've not had to face too many certain personal challenges. But I think a lot of that comes down. I think I was quite lucky also having come from a pretty good household. Now I can look back and see, like, both my parents took a lot of different hits for my brother and I to make sure that we had a good upbringing, which we have. And so, you know, now you look back and you go, yeah, I can see that there would have been times that they would have taken some hits. And I don't know if we've not really spoken about those probably together. I think I can just remember them as a kid, but like Dad going through stresses from work and Mum going from stresses from being away from family and stuff like that, you know, with Lebanon and here and all that kind of thing. So, but has it trickled down to me? Like, not overly, in the sense that they've been able to not shelter me from it, but like help my brother and I with whatever we needed. So we're quite lucky. But it's still, I think I'm also in this day and age where society has a lot more pressure and expectations. I'm in amongst the social media world. So what you guys were saying with social media. Yeah. No, but that social media expectation, like, you guys...
I wasn't talking about you, by the way. I was just...
No, but I'm saying is, I grew up with the development of, like, from, like, those channels. You know, like, I grew as they developed. Kids now are coming into those. I grew as they developed. You guys came to the party. Yeah. You were already here and it rocked up. So
we were watching VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Social media to you was like the Casio calculator watch was to us.
Yeah, it's just a part of every year. I would grow with the technology, right? Whereas you guys, you know, you were here before it came around, and now kids now are just being born into it, the whole world of it.
I sent Ty an email last week, and he came and dropped off a letter at the reception. Yeah, like he wrote a letter back.
Yeah, his car's full of those pigeons.
I couldn't find a post office to get a stamp. Couldn't find the red box.
He had to get 3 stamps because he kept licking the stamps too hard and they wouldn't stick to the paper. So
licking the back of the Queen's head.
Yeah. So I think it is an important topic. It's something a lot of people don't talk about enough. Like I've said in previous podcasts, like I have dealt with friends that have gone through it. And now I deal with clients who are like going through it and like I always advise them to obviously get the right help from the right professionals, but sometimes they also just need someone who's ready to listen. And I think that's what I am pretty good at. So like I'll just listen to them, let them kind of get things off their chest. Exercise, as we all know, is one of the most perfect natural, I won't say cures because it's not, but it's a support system that everyone can tap into to help manage or manage or build a resilience, or I don't know what the right word for it is, but it's like a therapy in a way that you can get.
It can also work against you, because if you've got, say for example, you've got a client that works 12 hours a day, very stressed, isn't getting enough sleep. Next thing you know, they're not getting results. So what do they think? Oh, I've got to train harder. Now, when you're dieting and you're stressed and you're not sleeping and you add even more training on top of that, that itself then becomes a stressor.
Yeah.
So your body's going, dude, I need a fucking break. And what do you want to do? You want to throw another gym session in?
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull back harder.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to learn to either deal with the problem, deal with the issue, deal with that stress. Don't throw more exercise on top and use the caveat of, it's therapy. Because how far are you going to push it? What are you going to train every day? And 90 minutes every. Next thing you know, you're going to wake up and you're just going to go,
I'm burnt out.
I'm just Where do I go from here? And that's a lot more common than what people actually think.
No, that's true.
Like, you know what I want to do as well. Like, we've spoken about it, but like obviously now it's more. I think it's more practical. I think in Dubai there's not enough support groups, if you will.
Totally agree.
Like I want, and not like a come and sit down and fucking chat. I don't want to but just be around good vibey people and using like that, once every 2 weeks get together and do things. As the weather gets better. I think it's important to be around good people, man, because like I see a product that we're pushing at work at the moment that's really, really working, and it's a social aspect of the game, and I see it, man, like 20 plus people rock up, on a Thursday night that don't know each other, but then that we're getting told as they're walking out, guys, thank you so much for putting this on, like either sit in my apartment on my own on a, and it does things for people,
And that's all it could take to break a cycle.
Absolutely. And like, you don't know, I hope they're all good, all of these people, but there might be some people that, just rocking up on a Thursday night, being around other people with a good vibe could steer you off the course that you had intended, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of that needs to happen in Dubai, because Dubai is a very selfish place where people are only doing things for themselves, you know what I mean? Especially in our industry, guys. Like, I mean, we're in it. Like, a lot of this stuff, as much as it looks good on Instagram, isn't done for anybody else bar that person trying to push it,
Yeah.
And being healthy is great, but also, looking at the other side of it, like, this whole body composition world and coming, like...
You can have the best looking body there is. If you don't have that mind driving it...
Absolutely, you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes that destroys people more because, the results aren't attained, and then, people get into a depressive state on that, and they're like, why didn't I get that result? I'm like, if you can just train people to be first their mindset and be 100%. Disciplined, happy, and then everything else. This is not, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You know what I mean?
Stop looking at it as the defining factor. Look at your body composition and things like that as a byproduct of the changes that you make that are more important. Your mindset, your mental health, your ability to recover properly, all that sort of stuff. And next thing you know, oh shit, I've lost a couple of kilos, I'm looking good. But not only I'm looking good, I feel good. I feel fantastic too. Not
Absolutely.
like, look at me, I look great, but I fucking hate myself inside.
Yeah.
Or I look good, but I feel like shit.
Yeah.
You can't imagine having the two.
Yeah.
And
that's the most important thing, I think. Like that whole, you got to be feeling good to look good. And I've always said that to everyone that I've ever trained, is that make sure you feel good. Doesn't matter what the mirror is telling you, what the scales. If you're feeling good, own it, man. Like that's the biggest thing.
Because you're confident
exactly. Be confident about yourself, and that takes a lot of work.
And that will change whether doesn't matter how good you look. It will be perceived how you even doing something like entering a room. If you enter your room slouch shoulders with your head down and like, I've got a six pack though. No one gives a fuck because I can't see it under the shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you